Hello and welcome to the tutorial on stupor and its management. So this station tests the ability to take a collateral history from a relative of a patient presenting with a severe depressive episode in stupor and to address any concerns. So the question itself gives the clues that this is a depressive stupor as there are issues of the patient being withdrawn, refusing to eat or drink, and then being mute in the presence of full consciousness. The candidate needs to take a focus history about the circumstances of the patient's current presentation and then try to elicit any relevant triggers. So, for example, a previous history of depression, poor compliance with medication. In this example, there was the recent death of a close relative, and social isolation, which would be also triggers for the current depressive episode. We'd also then need to confirm the existence of any pre-existing core depressive symptoms. Yes, we've got some information already about them being withdrawn and not eating and drinking, but really just confirming about issues around low mood, poor energy, and anhedonia, and then also then just looking at any for any other potential contributors for the current presentation. So anything in the past medical history, substance misuse, or anything else in the social history. We then would need to explain what stupor is to the relative. So it's mutism, absence of movement occurring in full consciousness. This can be caused by a variety of psychiatric illnesses. However, in this case, it's the recurrence due to the recurrence of a severe depressive illness. The initial management in this case would be, of course, medical stabilisation before then transferring to a psychiatric ward. She may likely need detention under section if she continues to remain mute. And then once at a psychiatric unit, just depending on her presentation, be reinitiated on an antidepressant, or in this case, the patient did have a history of ECT treatment, so whether that would have to again be reconsidered. So let's just have a look at how this particular station was structured. So after introducing ourselves and setting the scene, we would then need to go on to starting to take the collateral history. And so looking at the onset of these, when these symptoms started, identifying that these were actually a recurrence in depressive symptoms, then asking about, has anything happened recently that could have triggered this current episode? And that's when we start to get some of the information as to the potential triggers. We're then obviously looking at any particular risks at all. If she'd had any thoughts about wanting to harm herself, you could ask at this point. And then moving on to our past psychiatric history. So we were told that there's a history of depression. She's had previous treatments in hospital. We can inquire whether these have been under section at all. And again, has she had any previous history of suicide or any previous risks that we haven't yet identified? Then we go into the medication history. So has she been on any antidepressant medications before, and what is she on at the moment? And has she been compliant with this particular medication? Ask about anything relevant in the past medical history, obviously any history of substance misuse, and then anything else relevant in the social history. So having a structure, as we've got there, will allow us to get the main, give us the best chance of getting the main triggers for her current episode. We're then moving on to addressing obviously the concerns that the relative has about what's actually happening with her daughter. So we have to explain obviously that the patient is in what we call a stupor, which is, as we've said, is mutism, an absence of movement occurring in full consciousness. It can be caused by a variety of psychiatric illnesses. However, in this case, it's due to the recurrence of her severe depression. And then, as we've mentioned, the medical stabilisation before transferring to a psychiatric unit, potential detention under section if she continues to remain mute. And then look at treatment options such as restarting venlafaxine or give ECT if she's had this treatment before. So let's just have a look at some of the potential script lines you can use when practicing this station. So, hello, my name is Dr. X. I'm one of the psychiatrists that work here. I come to speak to you about your daughter, Alina. Could you share with me your understanding as to what's been happening? And obviously then just an acknowledgement of how distressing this is for her. Yes, this must be extremely worrying for you to see her like this. How long has this been going on for? So then we're told that she's been in this condition where she's not been responsive for 5 days, And so then we'd need to obviously then ask about the onset of low mood before then. So how long has she been feeling low for? And then asking an open question for any specific triggers. So could anything have happened to her recently that could have caused her mood to become so low? And then obviously then an acknowledgement of how difficult those things would have been for her. And then how often would you see your daughter? And then so just an acknowledgement that yes, okay. So over the past few weeks, the mother has been seeing her daughter low. And then moving on then just to confirm the other core depressive symptoms, what kinds of things did she normally enjoy doing? Has she been managing to do any of these things? And then exploring any biological symptoms of depression, and then exploring any risks. And then exploring any previous episodes of depression. So has she had periods before when she's been low in mood? When was that? Has she had any treatment for depression before? What kind of treatment? And are you able to remember the names of any kinds of medication that she's been on? Do you know if she's been taking this medication? Then moving on to, are you aware of your daughter using drugs or alcohol at all? Does she have any medical problems at all? So just basic screening questions. So I appreciate seeing her like this must be worrying for you. And then moving on to then just an explanation of stupor. So in illnesses like severe depression, if symptoms such as low mood and low energy are not treated properly, these can start to slow the sufferer down. And this can eventually lead to them to stop eating and drinking and talking altogether, despite them being fully conscious. And we describe this as a stupor. Does that make sense? Our first priority is to ensure that she's medically stable. So then moving on to if they ask you about, what's the next stages in management. So we need to make sure that her physical observations are safe, and then to try and encourage her to consume nutrition and fluids. If she's able to start consuming food and fluids, we would then go on to treat her depression with antidepressant treatment, for example. But if she refuses food or fluid intake, this would of course be concerning, and we may then need to consider using a treatment called ECT, which she's had before. And these treatments may also need to be done under Section or under the Mental Health Act. Does that make sense? So those would be some potential script lines that you could use when practicing a station like this. So good luck with it, and I will see you in the next tutorial.